So a lot of conversation about performance, guaranteed outcomes. You guys have been sort of out front on that. What does that mean, and what are you guaranteeing, and what are sort of expectations from your advertisers?
Sure. To start off with, what it means is it means moving from CPM to what some people call CPW, cost per whatever it is that is important to your business. A business outcome, specifically, that's what a media outcome used to be trying to be a proxy for. We're now prepared and we're now trading on metrics that are actually business outcomes. Right now, the two that we trade on specifically at A+E is web attribution and foot traffic. Those are the two areas based on automated content recognition, ACR, and measurement algorithms that work with multi-touch attribution. Those are the two things that we feel confident we can measure the impact of both television and A+E and bring and have a conversation with to the advertiser. From the advertiser's perspective, that isn't necessarily the optimal metric, but it's far better than a broad age, gender, media outcome. It's finally moving linear television into a place that is beyond just a media metric.
It seems that there's a lot of conversation, investment, visibility around performance-based companies. Companies that maybe weren't known for it are sort of rebranding themselves as performance-based. Why is performance and attribution becoming so valuable?
Well, I think, if you think about the way the world is going in a macro sense, we no longer accept good enough. It has to be the best, and the best right now is performance. If someone is going to invest money in your company, they want to know what it is you're doing with that money, and they want to know the outcome of their investment on the business. Is this growing the business? And it is not enough for television any longer to put up a proxy that doesn't make sense to an investor. It's not enough to talk about data points that only make sense to marketers. Marketers have to be able to speak the language of business and of finance, and that is what performance is all about.
Ethan, I wanted to ask you about addressability from a programmer standpoint, and there's a lot of interesting things happening with Project Or and other initiatives and the work of the smart TV people and various ACR sources. We hear about delivering to the glass, an addressable ad. What are your thoughts? Where's A+E and what's the path for you guys in the industry?
Sure. Addressability is important. Obviously, if we're going to talk about performance, having an addressable ability at scale, not just for A+E but for the industry, is critically important. That said, addressability is really, really hard. We deliver ads in a linear fashion to almost the entirety of the United States. How do you take that and turn portions of it into addressable? The technical hurdles you have to jump through are significant. The questions of what you do with the rest of the audience once you begin tranching the most valuable segments of the audience, those are theoretical, strategic questions that have to be answered. We're sleeves rolled up, we're engaged, we're trying to answer these questions, but ultimately, I don't know, and we don't know at A+E, if that's an answer for a cable network. It might be an answer that an MVPD provides. It might be an answer that the local station groups provide. It might be an answer that AVOD services, to an IP level provide. And we participate with them in some way, shape, or form, but it might not be something that we necessarily lead simply because the technical hurdles are significant.
And finally, what about the ad load, ad format, how that's changing, maybe some pressures on the 22 minutes perhaps? Where do things stand in terms of ad load and formats and sort of where that might be going?
So ad load is a tough one, right? It's in everybody's interests to create the best possible viewing experience for a consumer. A lot of what we're working on at A+E, in addition to trying to cut down the ad load, is moving our programming away from where we've been historically into live programming. We've got a show called Live PD on A+E, which is on some Friday and Saturday nights the highest rated show on television. Having a live show gives us the ability to do a lot more than 15-second, 30-second commercials. We can do in-program mentions, we can do product integration, we can do custom units. It allows us to tie in what's going on linearly with what we're doing digitally live. The possibilities are really kind of endless in a way that they're not within our traditional model. So for us, it isn't just about cutting back ad load. It isn't just about creating new types of advertiser content. It's about really rethinking what makes us valuable as a linear cable network and moving into that future.